deep, way back there, on its way, gone. C.J. Crone leaves the yard, and they add to the lead. It's 3.
Hey everyone, J-Dog here, Johnny Duke, the old guy gamer. In my last episode, we talked about the all-star pitchers both starting and relieving for my offline grinding that I like to do. So today, we're going to talk about the hitters. Personally, I'm a fan of speed, base running, and contact. I know home runs are great, everyone loves a good long ball, but for me, players with high contact, good vision, I'm able to get home runs with pretty regularly, so that's kind of what I covet more than the power. So with that in mind, we'll take a look at our first batter. This is the catcher. This is the Adley Rutschman prospect card. This card has done serious work for me. As you can see, he's parallel level 4. If we take a look at his stats, he has appeared for me in 320 offline games with 421 at-bats. He's got 45 home runs, 125 runs batted in, but he's batted 380 for me. If we look at his attributes, his contact numbers are both solid, 94, 95, and even to this day, he tends to be my backup catcher because I love his switch hitting ability. Ever since the May 2022 monthly program, I've been using this Pete Alonso as my first baseman. The dude has just a sweet swing for me. He hits lefties pretty hard, but his contact is still outstanding. If we look at his stats, he's only batted 71 times for me, but he's got 17 home runs in that span, which is really good. But even more impressive, I think, is his 577 batting average. He is very clutch. So you didn't have to, spend any stubs on this guy. You just put the time into him and you got him. He has a really great wide zone of contact with his PCI. Another recent addition who I was a little bit hesitant to put in was Wagner. I really haven't played a ton with him yet, 44 at bats. But if we look at the attributes, his contacts, 110 versus righty, 107 versus lefty. His vision is 102. He's very fast on the bags and he's able to steal. And so like I said, these are the things that I kind of covet. And if we look at his stats, even in that shortened period that we've had to work with him, his 44 at-bats, he's hitting 432. He's got 9 runs batted in, and he scored 17 runs. He's stolen 8 bags. If you also look, he can play almost every position. So you can move him around as you need to, especially as you're working on other programs. I guess downside to him is that he bats right. He's not switch, which is what I'm normally looking for. You look at his quirks, and he's just got a ton of them. This card, if you can get it, obviously that program's going to be up soon. But for me, this card is definitely he's actually my second baseman going forward. Another kind of new card for me is none other than the Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith. As a young guy playing Little League Baseball, this guy, I played shortstop, and this was the guy I wanted to be, right? So if we take a look at him, though, he's another switch hitter with excellent contact, outstanding vision, and that speed that I really like. He has appeared at bat almost 100 times. He's batting 394. He has 9 stolen bases. The guy just gets on. Obviously, you can see he doesn't hit for a lot of extra bases for me, but getting him on and stealing a base is essentially an extra base hit, right? I mean, the guy just gets on. I like to bat him leadoff. Normally you steal second before that first out happens. He's going to get home. Over at third base, we have one of my current favorite MLB players. That's Rafi Devers. This is his May Player of the Month card. As you can see, his contact is outstanding, 117 and 112. He's got good power to go along with it. His vision's a little low, but I actually think that that's pretty fitting for Rafi. He has actually appeared again at about 100 at-bats. He's batting 404. He's got 22 home runs and 48 RBIs. He kind of like Alonso, I find his PCI coverage to be really outstanding, and I'm able to connect with almost anything that I swing at. In right field, I have the All-Star Tony Gwynn card. I have moved away from this card just as I've been picking up some better cards recently, but he will still occasionally get back into my rotation. But as you can see, his contact again is otherworldly, as well as his vision. His vision is 119. He is able to run and steal. But if we look at his stats, through 134 at-bats, he's hitting 455 with an almost 500 on-base percentage. Like Ozzie Smith, if I get him on, he's stolen 40 bags. It's like, okay, you get a single, you're basically going to score. At center field, we find Josh Lowe. This is the Futures of the Franchise program. He has decent stats. None of it's, mind-blowing, but again, he's got really good speed. He bats lefty. He is kind of a five-tool player for me. I don't know how everyone else feels about him, but again, he can field, he can steal, he can hit for power. If you look at his numbers through 138 bats, he's got 14 home runs, which isn't terrible. He's driven in 29 runs, and he's stolen 13 bases. He's batting .377. He's another guy that probably won't get much play going forward, but he was definitely somebody that I utilized for a while, and he was very effective while I was using him. Lastly, we're going to take a look at left field and probably my offensive MVP, and that's none other than Kirk Gibson, who is making his first appearance on MLB The Show this year. This was actually the Dodgers Live Series completion. I misspoke in the pitchers. One that I did, the Kenley Jansen, was for completing the NL West, but this one was actually the one that you got for finishing off the Dodgers. So if we take a look at him, he bats left, his contact, 98 right, 101 left. Good power versus lefties, and his vision is 84, which is pretty good. His speed, again, he's got 89 speed and 86 stealing, so he also does it all for me. And as you can see, I did refractor him out, so he's at max attribute. If we look into his statistics, you can see by his at-bats how much he was my MVP, as he has 525 at-bats. He has scored 139 runs. He has hit 48 home runs and 145 runs batted in. He has a .720 slugging percentage and is batting .360. So you can just see right there how much I have used this Kirk Gibson card. If you can get this card, it's gotten a lot easier to complete the Dodgers collection as a lot of cards have come down, as some of the attributes have come down. It's definitely worth doing. This card is just fun. So again, this would be my MVP. So there you have it. That's my all-star squad for the mid-season report. But I'm curious as to who your offensive MVP might be. So just drop a line. Let me know who's really surprised you or who you find to be the most consistent. And until the next time, may the odds be forever in your favor, my friends.